Have leftover corned beef? Well, it's your lucky day.
This hash is so scrumptious, it's good morning, day or night.
And it just screams to be topped with a fried egg.
That's right. After one bite, you'll be screaming, hashtag delicious. I couldn't say it this, but hashtag.
I know, it's a mouthful. The hashtag can't speak.
And it's good morning, day or night.
That's right. So anyway, I have to say, please forgive me if we're a little, it's sort of sprinkling a little bit outside, which means our
thunder
dogs are terrified.
Yeah.
Ebb is right here with us. You just
right down there. And Flo likes to go to our bathroom.
She hides in there. She thinks it's a tornado, so hopefully it's not. But anyway,
it's not.
So let's make corned beef hash, you guys. This is amazing. So I'm going to start off. I've got 3 tablespoons of bacon grease.
Yeah. I love that.
Melted. I know. If you don't have bacon grease, you could use just vegetable oil. You could use butter. But hopefully, you've got some leftover bacon grease.
Yeah.
It's 3 tablespoons. We want this to get nice and crispy, and so you're almost like frying it a little bit. So you're going to go a little heavier on the oil. And this is one of those things in moderation. It's delicious. You probably shouldn't eat this dish every single day. But isn't that pretty? I've got a red bell pepper, and then that's 1 jalapeno that I have seeded. I've taken all the seeds out and finely chopped.
Got a little southern in this hash.
It is.
It's a little southern heat.
You know what I always say? This is similar, I think, to kind of like a hash browns, and you know how you get down in the French Quarter in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's like Pat O'Brien.
Pat O'Brien, which is Irish, right? That's Irish. So,
O'Brien is what they're called.
O'Brien, yeah. So anyway, I digress.
All right, so you got that going. I'm going to cut up. This is our leftover corned beef, which is so good. Make sure you watch it on our YouTube. It's so much fun and it's delicious.
We've been playing with it for a while, and every time we make it, I'm like, why do we not have this year round?
I know. So I'm going to cut off just a little of the fat. Don't cut it all off because that stuff has some flavor.
That's right.
And I'm just going to cube it. I like big chunks of corned beef in my hash.
Why are none of us surprised at that?
Yeah, it's almost like, I call it like a jacked up version that I used to get at the truck stop.
It's so very good. Truck stop, but it's got that kind of cool brunchy vibe to it too.
Totally.
So now let's talk potatoes.
Like a gastropub.
That's right. Let's talk spuds. So this is really easy to get these. You can steam your potatoes. You need to go ahead and have them cooked before we add them. So what I did was I got a pound of yellow potatoes. You could also do red potatoes, and just the baby petite ones work nicely, but you could do the larger ones as well. I don't peel them, no need to peel them, and I have a pot of just tap water, and then I put them in there. I add a teaspoon of salt, and then I bring that to a boil. And because these are smaller, they only take 10 minutes to get to the perfect tenderness. And then when they're cool enough to handle, just get a nice sharp knife and cube them into bite-sized pieces. If you're doing the larger potatoes, then I would go ahead and quarter it. Wow, I'm getting a facial here. Then I'd let it go for maybe a little longer. And whenever you can pierce it with a knife, just don't overdo it because you don't want them to turn to mush. So
look at me cubing this.
You are cubing away. That's good.
Big old cubes.
We're doing well here, so I'm going to go ahead and add in these potatoes. We want these to go so they get nice and soft, and that's about 3 to 4 minutes. And I think we've been jabbering probably for about 3 to 4 minutes.
Did I tell everybody this is about a pound of corned beef?
No, you didn't tell them.
Isn't that right? No, it's 14 ounces, I think.
It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you've got left over. You would like to have hopefully 2 to 3 cups. You just want the right ratio of potatoes to corned beef.
Yes.
So typically, that's. Make extra corned beef so you can make this hash. It's that good.
Totally.
Okay, we're going to let this go for about 5 minutes.
I'm going to cut up the rest of this corned beef.
We're going to cut that up, and we're going to add it. We're going to keep building those delicious flavors.
Yes.
Oh, the smell is already crazy
Oh, and
good.
those potatoes are already getting crispy.
See how they're starting to get a little brown there? That's great. Sometimes you could also do, if you really want to do them in the style of hash browns, you could, rather than cubing them, you could shred them. Just make sure you boil them first. You want them to be somewhat soft. And if they're still a tad bit al dente, that's actually not bad because then they won't disintegrate in there and they continue to cook as they're in the skillet. Okay.
I like a chunky. everything.
I know
in my
you do. I know you do, and I do too. Especially
Chunky meat, chunky
a
potatoes.
hash. I just think a hash is meant to be a little on the chunky side. So okay, now we're adding this meat,
Wow,
and now the flavor is
looks gorgeous.
already. Yeah. So all right, you
All
want
right,
to
so we've got this sauce that we're going to throw in there. This is 2 tablespoons of chili sauce, but you can use ketchup or what's the other thing? Tomato paste?
tomato paste. You said
But
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons,
Yeah.
yes. But chili sauce. Use the chili sauce.
Chili sauce you can find like where ketchup condiments are sold, but if not,
So
ketchup is good too. Yeah.
And then I've got 2 or 3 tablespoons. This is the broth that we cooked the corned beef in.
So if
Tons of flavor.
If you guys are watching this, and hopefully you're watching it and it's St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day,
Happy St.
everybody.
Patty's Day.
So the broth that you make it in, hopefully you're using our recipe because it is really good.
It is so good.
Save that broth. It is so good. You can strain it and then you make soup with it.
Yeah.
You can cook with it.
Yeah, we had some soup the other night.
So
good.
If you don't have that, don't fret. You could just use good old beef broth or chicken broth.
And the other 2 things I'm going to throw in there is a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and a teaspoon of dried thyme.
We like
Yum.
just a little bit of zip to our hash, so we went with like a teaspoon, which is going to give it just
I love a zip.
a hint of heat. If you don't want any heat, you can do a half a teaspoon or just omit it.
Yeah. When do I throw this in?
Okay, you can put it in there right
All right,
now.
I want to make sure.
Now make
that's
sure you
all.
keep an eye on this, folks, because it will start to burn if you don't watch it.
There we
So
go.
watch it. Doesn't that look good? Okay, now I'm going to add some salt. Don't overdo it with the salt because your
That corned beef is
corned
nice and
beef
salty.
is a little on the salty side. So I did about a teaspoon of kosher salt and a teaspoon,
See that sauce? Yeah, a teaspoon of pepper. So that sauce.
half a teaspoon of black pepper. Yeah.
That sauce gives it that, like, kind of a red hue, which I love.
Yeah.
Which I always associate with hash.
I
A
know.
good hash.
It is.
Oh, and the Flo has joined us.
Yeah.
They're all cowered back here.
Hi, kids.
Although they're scared, the smell of meat has.
It draws them out. I mean, the meat overrides everything.
Sweet babies.
Okay, now we're gonna again, like I said, just watch your heat. You don't want it to burn, but you want it to get that start to get crispy. And I'm gonna say that.
Hashtag yum.
Hashtag scrumptious. This is gonna go probably for another 15 minutes. We're gonna cook up an egg and then we are gonna dig in. Oh, you guys, look at this.
Oh. I just slobbered.
I noticed.
Wow.
Oh, the smell. I mean, this is just. This is so good. It got a little, just got dark and crispy.
Chris, I don't care.
I know. Stop talking. I know. Here, let me
Give me some.
move this over so I can.
There we
we
go.
don't lose a bit.
Right there.
And
Right there.
Wesley is quite the fried egg maker. So
Yes.
oh wow.
Just a little more, please. Please. Because I'm going to still eat once
All
the
of
cameras
this.
aren't rolling.
I know this is just for the two of us. So.
So you do that. I have got this delicious egg.
Wesley's a very good fried egg maker.
Here you go.
Among
Here
other
you go,
things.
right on top. That
I mean,
is perfection. Put that right there so everybody can see.
that is like, you make this, and what do you want me to do?
Right here.
You make this and you serve this to your guests, and they're gonna be like, we're at a fancy brunch place.
There we go. There
Isn't
we
this
go,
awesome?
people.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And last but not least, I love a little Tabasco.
Yeah, I do too. Just a little hot sauce. You could also do a little chopped parsley on top for a beautiful presentation, but we're more about just digging in. I am so
Okay, I'm going to just crack this yolk.
break the yolk, yeah.
Crack this yolk.
Oh, you did it perfectly, Wesley.
Look at that, y'all.
This is great with scrambled eggs.
There it is.
Of course, some rye toast would be a wonderful addition.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah.
My mouth is like, would
I'm
you
getting in. I'm
hurry up?
getting messy. That's what hash is about. Messy. And see, I left it a little, let the yolk get a little hard on the bottom, which is perfect.
Yeah, that all mixes in with the hash, and
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna hash this out
Yeah,
eventually.
I'm going to. Well, see, this is what happens. I have too much. There you go. Ready?
Okay, here we go. I think Wesley had to pick one meal that he could only have for the rest of his life, it would be brunch, right?
Yeah, and this would be,
And
on,
this
the
would
menu.
be on the menu. That's to die for.
The little bit of cayenne in there, and the chili sauce instead of the ketchup or the tomato paste, it just
And
makes a world of
and
difference.
the corned beef. I mean, that.
Oh, yeah, well.
The corned beef. It's just there's nothing like it.
Y'all.
I feel like we have the luck of the Irish on our side. He's doing his jig.
This is the 500,000% Loon approved.
I told you. This is his died and gone to heaven meal. Oh my
This is
gosh.
like, this is growing up. This is right here on this plate. Not this good though.
No.
Sometimes it was from a can.
Oh my goodness. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, whatever. We love you guys so much. If you're watching this and it's St. Patrick's Day, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. Go out. Have a Guinness. Well, don't if you don't drink, but have this then.
Just have fun. All right. We love you guys so much. Bye, everybody.